Alright everyone, hello today. Something that I've been delaying for a while, but we are going to be doing my thoughts on the Monster Jam new schedules for 2025. Without further ado, I guess let's get into it because I don't see what else there is. So we are going to be doing it in the background. I have a video that I selected. It's the only World Finals I've ever been to. It's by Monster Truck Reels. The link is in the description if you want to go see it. It's World Finals 22 Nashville freestyle. So yeah, I'd recommend probably watching it. We probably won't even get to the end of it though. But yeah, and I'm gonna be talking about what I think about the schedules, and I have it on mute because I mean, yeah, I do. All right, so 2025 Freestyle Championship. Not sure why Megalodon is at the top. If did they? Oh, I was there. I don't remember Megalodon being at the top there. Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna. All right. So without further ado, let's get into my thoughts on each of them. We're gonna go in the order of how what I would believe will be the worst tour, like the tour that it's gonna be. It's not. All these tours are amazing. These are some of the best tours Monster has had. Like the Monster Jam is absolutely they were cooking with these tours. But I'm gonna do the tours that I feel like I will have them like me personally. I will have the most fun watching and um, yeah, like at the point chase. And yeah, so the one that I think is going to be it's still gonna be fairly good, but I think it's gonna be last. I will also say where I think everyone's placed. If you disagree or just want to give your own thoughts, you can comment just where you think everyone will place. So we're gonna start off with this tour that I think will be the least exciting personally, and that is our Arena Championship Series West. Now, if any of you guys don't know these lineups, um, you don't have to really, but you guys know Series Central is amazing, and Series East is also pretty good. But Series West, it's really just half Team Throttle Monsters, and then some of the best Feld drivers. Like the thing that it's gonna be amazing. It's just I don't know, like this one I feel like I know where everyone's gonna place. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Here's how I think this tour. I think this tour is gonna be very competitive. I think every tour this year is gonna be insane. Like coming up with predictions is gonna be one of the most difficult parts. Like I'm coming up with these on the fly. Like in case you guys don't know, like I just decided I'm just you know what, I'm just gonna stream right now. So all these lineups, they are they're what I'm thinking right now. Like they might change tomorrow even, but yeah. So as of now though, um, my pick for who I think is gonna get last place. I'll get into more about why I think certain things, but yeah, we're gonna for eighth place, I have Earthshaker Joe Yuri. He's won a few competitions. He actually won Two Wheel Skills not forever ago. So yeah, not bad, but I just don't feel like he's gonna win too much. And yeah, I'm excited for him. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna do better than anyone else. Now, next up for seven, it's really difficult, but simply because of the factor of backflips. For seventh, I have. All right, I'm not. I need a pick because I have it near between two people. All right, I think I have a pick. All right, for seventh place, I have Berto Trevino and Monster Rottweiler because the driver who I was considering also putting for seventh is he has won an overall vet championship and he's surprisingly is better than Berto Trevino, in my personal opinion. And so yeah, he's won more than Berto Trevino, and yeah, but Berto Trevino, he's amazing driver, and yeah, like I said, I think that Joe Uri, I feel like next year, if he drives in 2026, that's going to be his breakout year. But I feel like this year he needs to get back in, get used to it. So yeah. Um, but yeah, Berto Trevino, I think he's going to do fairly well this year. I think he might. I think he's going to get his first overall, maybe even attempt a backflip. But yeah. So yeah. I just it's going out on a limb, but this is very I this is it's really this tour is gonna be very competitive. So for sixth, I have Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. He is the one who is considering putting it in seventh, and the reason I put Tim Hall Jr. ahead is because he's already got an overall event championship and tons of two wheel skills wins, and even a racing win, I think, but I'm not positive. So yeah, he's just done so well, and he hasn't even had a full season. So yeah, if this is what he's like without that much experience, then he is gonna do amazing on the tour. It's just everyone else has so much more monster jam experience. He has experience, but he doesn't have monster jam experience, which is monster jam is different from like any other monster truck tour. Like the closest comparison would probably be toughest truck tour because of the tracks, though, because like Toughest Watch Truck Tour has bigger tracks than most arena tours. But anyways, yeah. So next up for fifth, this might be a little bit of a shock because you guys know that there's one Team Throttle Monster Truck left, and who I decided to put is a Feld driver. Actually, I put Ashley Sanford of Megalodon. I think she's gonna place fifth. Um, she's a great driver. She's amazing. She's this year has been like her breakout year. Um, and I think she's gonna do amazing. I think she's gonna win tons of things, but it's just I just don't really feel like she's as good as the next driver because I'm not sure how to explain it. Basically, she's really good at um freestyle, donuts, and racing. This driver, who I've picked for fourth, is good at racing, two wheel skills, freestyle now, and he can occasionally do good at donuts, but he's really the only thing he's lacking in is sky wheelies. But yeah, so yeah, that's why I think she's gonna place. And now we get into our top half. In fourth place, I think Devin Winfield in Velociraptor is gonna place fourth. Um, Simply because the next three drivers, they're amazing. They have so much more experience than him, but he's really coming to his own. He won overall the championship already. He's doing backflips now, like regularly. He won an overall event championship, like I said. It was an Earthshaker though. So yeah, he's also gonna drive at Stadium in Glendale. He might. It's as of now, the line of saying that he's gonna drive both Velociraptor and Jurassic Attack, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Tim Hall Jr. or Dalton Weiner is gonna drive Jurassic Attack, probably the latter. Um, but yeah. So yeah, that's why I think he's gonna take fourth because he's really great at just about every competition except for really Sky Bullies. So yeah, and then in third place, a driver who I think is amazing. I just don't really think that they're gonna get the win, and that's Brianna Mahan, Scooby Doo. She is one of my favorite drivers. She's really nice. I've met her a couple of times. And yeah, she's really nice, and I really hope that she can get a win and win an overall at the bare minimum because she's won tons of overalls this year. She won racing, which she's really just a freestyler and a sky wheelie, but she won racing this year, which I don't think most people expected. So yeah, she's good at every single competition though. Two wheel skills she still needs to improve a little bit on, but if she can improve on two wheel skills, then she's got it in the bag. So yeah, but that's where I think she's gonna place. And now we have our top two. Do I think anyone is going to dethrone Weston Anderson? Do I think Cody Saucier can do that? And the answer to that is simply no. Weston Anderson is going to win like insane. He does have a really tough lineup though, especially with Cody Saucier and Bjorn Mahan, as well as Team Throttle Monsters and Ashley Sanford. So yeah, but yeah. Sorry, I have some mucus in my throat. But yeah, Cody Saucier, I think he's gonna play second. I think Weston Anderson's gonna win it all because Cody Saucier, he's great at everything again. Maybe not so much at like donuts, but he's fairly good at everything. I haven't seen him do too many sky wheelies. But yeah, I just hope that he doesn't get transferred to a stadium tour because I mean, 2020 didn't really feel like a year for Monster Jam. It sort of felt like Monster Jam getting back into it. I feel like 2023 was when Monster Jam really came back into itself, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Cody Saucier, I think he's gonna play second, because he hasn't had a full season in Dragon since 2022, and like I just said, 2022 didn't really feel like a year for me personally. And so yeah, I think he's gonna do amazing. I hope that he can stay on this tour for forever, not have to transfer to the stadiums. Or I mean, I hope that he can on this tour. Like I hope that he goes to a stadium lineup next year in 2026. And yeah, but anyways, I think Weston Anderson's gonna win. He's absolutely insane. I'm lucky. I actually saw him. I've seen him. I saw him in 2023. First Nashville show. Dalton Widener. Saw Dalton Widener get his first overall there. So yeah, Dalton Widener's first overall ever. Weston Anderson won racing and no, he won two wheel skills in freestyle. Dalton Widener won racing and donuts. So yeah, great fun. But yeah, I also saw Weston at Louisville this year. I went to show one though, so I saw him win two wheel skills, and that was it. But yeah. So yeah, I think he's gonna win. He's amazing, and that's really all I have to say. Next up, we have finally we're going into another tour. Let's see how far into. All right, I can finish. I can probably finish this before this um thing ends. So yeah, next up, it's really difficult, but I think this next tour that I have for fourth, a tour that is going to be insane, is Arena Championship Series East. Now, I think that this tour will have will be the worst performance wise, but I think it's going to be one to watch because it's all the drivers in it. None of them are amazing, like Weston Anderson or Cody Saucier or Brianna Mahan, but um, none of them are like as like not bad, but like all of them are more experienced than like Joe Uri and Berto Trevino, even Tim Hall Jr. and Devin Winfield. So and even Ashley Sanford. So I think this tour will be a much less predictable one, personally. So yeah, let's get into this tour though. Um, Arena Championship Series West. Sorry, let me get back to that. Great tour. I don't think it's gonna be amazing, but I do think it'll be one to watch and a very interesting one. All right. Anyways, Arena Championship Series East. Um, who do I think is gonna place in eighth? Well, I mean, all right. Um, well, for Arena Championship Series East, I'm gonna do something different. Since I don't know who's driving Monster Truck Dalmatian, I'm not gonna rank Monster Truck Dalmatian. Um, I think if it's Logan Ashline, then I would say, if it's Logan Ashline, then I would say I think she's gonna place fifth. If it's Chelsea Van Cleve, I would say I think she's gonna place sixth or seventh. I'm not sure, just because one driver who we'll get into later. So yeah, and I can't really think of any other driver. Maybe Joe Dennis. If it's Joe Dennis, then I think seventh. Chelsea and Cleve, I'm gonna veto that down to seventh just because she's not as good as racing. So yeah. Anyway, so I will be going out of seven. Sadly, in seventh place, I have the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Kurt Kramer and Rammunition. I think he and the driver who I have picked for seventh are going to be really close battle. I think especially with MK Motorsports, the Talochkas, it's going to be really difficult. I'm not sure who's going to win between those two. They're great, independent. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah. So Kurt Kramer though, he's just not. He's good at donuts, racing, and then freestyle, man. And he's gotten a lot better at two wheel skills though. So I do think he can do amazing. But he's part of the reason that this is actually higher than West because he's better than I believe Joe Uri would be. So the driver who I think is going to place in last is better than the other driver who I think is going to place in last. So yeah. Next up we have Mark Hall in Raminator. Um, I know that like he's great at racing. He's gotten better at two wheel skills, same as Kurt Kramer. And donuts, he's not as good as Kurt Kramer in, but he is one of the best at racing. So it kind of makes up, which is why I think he's going to place higher than Kurt Kramer. So yeah, Mark Hall, he's great driver. Um, I just he's just not really freestyle or two wheel skills or even donuts and skywheel. He's you know Kurt Kramer. He has a little bit of everything in him except for freestyle. Personally, in my opinion, and Mark Hall, he's really just a racer. He's great at what he does. Where Kurt Kramer, he places consistently in like fifth or sixth. Mark Hall will place in like seventh, sixth, eighth in the other competitions, but like get at the bare minimum into round two in racing. So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, that's why I think he's gonna place in sixth. Or did I say seventh? Because all right, I'm getting mixed up because Monster at Dalmatian. They need to announce that driver. Um, and so who I have in fifth as of now. It's a toss up between two drivers, but sadly, even though they are one of my, I like them more than the driver who I have fourth, mainly just because I haven't met the driver who I have for fourth, and I've met the driver who I have currently in for fifth place. Um, I think that the winner. I think that who's gonna get fifth place is Michaela Tolochka in Megalodon. He's great driver. Or she. Oh, it's a Monster Jam Showdown video game, not an ad I'm at actually. Very fitting. Anyways, but yeah. So Michaela Tolochka, she's a great driver. She's really nice. I met her in person. One of the nice people I met in person, and the problem is though, it's just that she's great freestyle. When I saw her at Louisville Show 1, she was tearing it up. She just broke early, which is sad. So yeah, she can do freestyle. She just doesn't backflip, which fair enough. Racing, she's better at timed racing than regular racing, and I think she's the only driver I can say that about. Because most drivers, they're a lot better at side-by-side racing because it's a 50-50 chance, so it's not a 1 in 8. So yeah, but she is absolutely a lot better at timed racing, which is she's probably the only driver. So that is definitely something very interesting about her. So yeah, two wheel skills she's amazing at. Donuts also pretty good at. Sky wheelies, she's actually won sky wheelies before, but I haven't seen any in myself. So yeah, she's fairly good though. The reason I have her in fifth though is because she's better. She's really better overall than Mark Hall and Kurt Kramer. So I just feel like she's gonna place fifth. Again, without the Monster with Dalmatian driver being known. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Michaela Tolochka. Next up we get into the top four. In third place, I have MJ Solario. He did a lot better this year, considering how he came from such a short wheelbase truck, Cali Kid. If you don't know it, it's on Straight Up Racing, I believe, if that's the correct promoter. But yeah, Straight Up Racing, they run that truck, and he drove it for a while. So yeah, I feel like he's gonna get fourth though. He's great at really everything. Racing is the one thing he needs to improve on. Same with freestyle. But yeah, other than racing and freestyle though, he's amazing at two wheel skills, amazing at donuts, amazing at sky wheelies, and he's fairly good at racing and freestyle. So yeah, now we get into the top three, and this is where I'm gonna do something that I know if my channel was bigger, I would get at least like 5 billion comments saying that this is stupid, but very controversial. In third place, I have Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. I just don't think this year she on fire. I don't feel like this year is gonna be her year. Something's telling me she's not gonna do the best this year. It's a really competitive tour. All the drivers are fairly not. They're not insanely close, but they're within each other's skill range. Like Kristen Anderson, and she's better than Kurt Kramer and Mark Hull and like everyone below. But it's like the top three is really a big step up. Like it's like you have Kurt Kramer, you have the Ram trucks, which they like to conserve their trucks because I mean, it costs a lot. So yeah. Um, then you have Michaela Tolochka, who great driver. She's still learning a little bit though. Then you have MJ Solorio, who also just better than Michaela Tolochka by a little bit, but just again still learning though. And then you have Kristen Anderson, who she's not learning anymore. She is a fully fledged insane driver. It's just the other two drivers, I feel like this is they're gonna have a great year this year, and yeah. So yeah, I think she's gonna place third. She did it in 2023, when she was behind Tristan England, Armando Castro, and these next two drivers, they might not be a world racing champion and a world two wheel skills champion, but they very well could be like next year. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, she's great at everything though, and I I just don't think she's gonna have as good of a year as usual. So yeah, in second place, another controversial pick. I have Brandon Tolochka. Just get her done too. I think a lot of people are gonna put him around. I think a lot of people are gonna say he is skill wise with MJ Solorio, which I get because they're both fairly new to the sport and they're both great at every competition. The reason I put him higher than both is because um he does backflips, really, and also he's a lot better at racing. He's better at racing in freestyle. MJ Solorio is he's like mainly a two wheel donut skywheeler. Brandon Tolochka, he can get everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this tour even. So yeah, um, I feel like he's gonna have a great tour though. I'm not sure who is. I'm not sure like what's he gonna do because like I saw Brandon Tolochka do his first ever backflip at Louisville Show One. I even brought a sign for MK Motorsports, so him and his sister, and they are both really nice. But yeah, um, I'm not sure. But I think he's gonna get second because he's just great at every competition. I hope he can win, but yeah, it might even be my bias, but I mean, it's probably my bias. But Kristen Anderson, she's great. I just feel like it's gonna be an off year for her. I know a lot of people feel like she's gonna win the tour probably. I feel like it's gonna be an off year for her. Then the person who I have winning the tour, Cody Sauce. Oh, not Cody Sauce. I'm sorry. Tony Oaks and Thunder Roris. That I'm sorry for calling him Cody. Tony, if you're for some reason watching this, I'm sorry. You're not the same. But yeah, I have Tony Oaks winning this tour. In 2022, he had a close battle with Christopher Anderson, and shockingly, didn't even get into the World Finals, which is insane. Because I would have loved to see Fortune Black Ops at its first ever World Finals. Now the track I believe is retired, which is sad. So yeah, Thunder Roris, Tony Oaks, he's gonna do really well though. Like if I think he's probably gonna win just because he does everything. Like he can win any competition any day, no matter what. I mean, occasionally he has his off days, but I like to think he's just recharging his batteries from being so dominant. So yeah, he's definitely gonna win this tour. I would probably bet like I'd bet money on that. Not a lot, but I'd bet some money. So yeah, I think he's gonna win the tour. Um, but yeah, Arena Series East. It's gonna be a great tour. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not sure who's gonna win. Like, honestly, this is gonna be a really close tour. Like I said, all the drivers are not insanely off skill wise. But yeah. So yeah, next up, um, let me look through because all right, yeah. Now this tour, it's the top three are all like they're practically on the same level. So yeah, like they're a big step up from Series East and Series West on the arenas. Um, the reason that I'm just putting them ahead, the reason I'm putting this one behind actually, the other two is because it's it just like I'm not really sure like it's just like both of the other tour their lineups are like, you could say that any driver is gonna win on that tour, and unless you said like two names, I would be like, yeah, probably. Like it's yeah. So um, and the third best tour I have, Stadium Championship Series East. That's right. Now this one, it's gonna be a great tour. It's just I just don't feel like there's gonna be as insane like the other two tours. Every weekend is a weekend to watch. It will flop. The winner, I like every driver on the other two tours will probably at some point be in the lead. Like just about, not everyone, but just about every driver will be in the lead of their tour at some point during the year. So yeah. Um but yeah, Stadium Championship Series East, I feel like it's really gonna be a battle. I feel like Tyler, he's gonna win. Spoiler alert. But I feel like after Tyler is really the reason this is on third because we know he's gonna win. Which like Tyler, like it's not his like he's good and like I get that, but like it, I don't want him to stop being good. But like it makes the show a lot less because like part of Monster Jam is that it's unpredictable and unscripted, but Tyler Menninga when he wins everything, even if he does deserve it, it makes it seem like it is scripted, personally. And the only people who really like it are the Insane Gravedigger fans. Everyone else is just like, nice, but can't we see like literally anyone else get a win? So yeah, Tyler, no hate. He's a great driver. He deserves it, but it does get boring when he wins everything. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get straight into it. Number 12, probably not so shockingly, I have um Kevin Crocker, Megalodon. I'm actually gonna get to see him at Louisville, Kentucky, and he is amazing. Like, I do not want that. He is an absolute insane driver. He will do half the time he goes smooth though, but yeah, and then the rest of the time he goes just all air. But on this tour, every driver is amazing, and Kevin Crocker, if he wants to have a chance at winning the tour, he's going to need to not have the 50-50 where sometimes he does meh and the other times he throws in an insane wow moment. He's going to need to do the wow moment every single night, which I feel like would cost a lot. Personally, like money is something that you have to understand, especially for independent teams. So, yeah, I do hope that he can get higher than 12th. I hope everyone can get higher than 12th, but that's not possible though. So yeah, Kevin Crocker, great driver. Just don't think he's gonna be able to win, especially with the competition. In 11th, this one is I'm I'm genuinely not sure like what to do for 11th. So like it's between two drivers definitely, but I'm gonna have to go with for number 11 for 11th place. I have Mike Christensen and Vendetta. Great driver. I just feel like the rest of the lineup, they're insane, and especially the one driver who I put ahead of him. It's really for like it's just because of how dominant he was in 2024. Like he just came out of nowhere and started winning at like everything. So yeah, he, I feel like Mike Christensen will he'll win an overall at the bare minimum. He'll also win at least one of each competition. So yeah, like in Salt Lake City this year, he had a great freestyle. Like I would argue that he should have won. But yeah, I personally feel like he's gonna place 11th. Like I said though, this is a really tough tour, so he could win for all I know. Um, Next up in 10th, we have Joe Foley and Axe. Now, Joe Foley, the reason I have him here is because he's not an El Toro Loco, and like I said, cost. So, Monster Jam, I'm not sure if they have a deal with them. They have a deal with some teams where, um, like, they'll pay for, like, all the damage done to the truck during Monster Jam events, but I'm not sure if they have it with Axe. So, yeah, I do hope, though, that, he can win at, so yeah, I'm not sure though, but yeah, I hope he can win. So yeah. Um, Next up though, um, Joe Foley, he's great freestyler. But yeah, he's not really insane at anything else. Anyways, 10th place, or no, ninth place, I have Jim Kohler and Avenger. The reason I have Jim in ninth is because it's just Jim. He's a great driver, but he like freestyle he's great at, and racing he's actually recently got it better at. But two wheel skills is his main letdown, and considering how that's a third of the event, it really takes points off from him. But yeah, he's a lot better at racing than he used to be. Always been good at freestyle or a freestyle, but two wheel skills just isn't his thing really. So yeah, um, next up, in eighth place, I have Dalton Widener, Jurassic Attack, simply because he's a great driver, great at racing, two wheel skills. Not the best at freestyle, but that's really just because he doesn't usually do backflips. He usually adds a lot of two wheel skills into it. But yeah, anyways, I put him here though because everyone else they're just insane, and I'm not really sure where else to put him. And yeah, so I have an eighth because he's used to arenas also, so it's difficult to transfer, but I feel like next year he'll be amazing. Personally, or 2026. I need to stop saying next year. Anyways, in seventh next up, I have probably a controversial pick. I think a lot of you think I'm gonna pick someone, but I'm actually gonna pick someone different. For seventh place, I have Armando Castro in El Toro Loco, and like I said with Dalton Widener, it's because of the arena. Like, sure, Armando Castro, he's on stadiums this year. He done pretty good actually. He's won freestyle at an event at East Rutherford, I think, and yeah, so it's just racing. He didn't really do too good in racing, especially like he got beat by Cynthia Gautier, who, no offense to her, she is a racer. Like, she is insane at racing. So if you can get beat by if the fact that Cynthia Gautier beat him and he is known for being such a prominent arena racer, I think shows that he's a lot better in arenas. Because like no hate, like I said, no hate to Cynthia, she's an amazing person, really nice, and like there's a reason I haven't said her name yet. And but yeah, she's just not a racer as much as like most people. She's mainly a freestyler, and when she wants to be, she can be amazing at two wheel skills. Like, she's been doing bicycles, so yeah. Um, so yeah, I think he's gonna place seventh, but he could not. I don't know. Like, that's really going out on a limb. So yeah. Next up we have sixth place, which um I have Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt, because Chris, he's a great driver in every competition. It's just fan judging, really, and also he occasionally will have off weekends, but most of the time he's amazing. That's why I put him all the way up in sixth, higher than he's ever placed. But I mean, he does have off weekends more, like, fairly, like, not insanely often, but he does have them more than most. So yeah, um, yeah, that's why I think he's gonna play sixth. Next up we get into the top five. In fifth place, I have Cynthia Gautier, Lucas Stabilizer. Like I was talking about earlier, she is insane at freestyling. She can win freestyle any day of the week. Two wheel skills, she can win um fairly easily, not insanely. Like, she always has competition, and this tour it's a two wheel lineup. Like, all these drivers are good at two wheel, except for like there's Mike Christensen's one two wheel. I'd say, like, other than Kevin Crocker, Jim Kohler, and Joe Foley, this is a two wheel skills eccentric lineup. So yeah, she's pretty good at two wheel though. Racing, I feel like if she improved on that, she could definitely win the tour though. But yeah, I have her all the way up in fifth, and there's a reason for that. So yeah, next up we have fourth, and in fourth place I have Colt Stevens and Thunder Oris. Um, he's just amazing, and I feel like he's he's great at freestyle. He's even been a lot better at two wheel skills. But like most drivers, if he could just get better at racing, then he could definitely win the tour. But yeah, why? Sorry, there's an old military plane flying by my house. That, anyway, that's cool. Anyways, So yeah, that's why I think he's gonna place fourth. Pretty good, but he just needs to get better at racing and also a little bit two-wheel skills. But freestyle, he's won a world championship in, and I saw that in person. So yeah, that's actually what the video is. So yeah, but next up in third place, I have Bari Musauer in Zombie. The reason I have Bari here is because he's an amazing driver. The next two are like the next two straight up like they might win the tour. Either one of them is gonna win the tour. I don't care about Prismacolor. No, I don't care. Stop. Anyways, so Bari Musauer, I think he's gonna place third. He's a great driver at really everything. He just he usually places like in third or fourth of every competition. He never usually wins it. So yeah, if he can just like do slightly better and win, then I feel like he'd definitely have his chance at a world championship. I mean, arguably, if you ask some people, he already won a world racing championship, but I mean, he can easily win another racing championship if he really sets his mind to it. And Jimmy Cretin, that was such an emotional win that I don't even care. But yeah, that's sidetrack. That's a story for another day. Jimmy Cretin, sorry, not more sidetracking. I feel like he had one of the best runs of freestyle in 2019. So yeah, watch his freestyle run from 2019. He arguably should have won. So yeah, anyways, Barbie Sour, I am in third place. Next up, we get into top two. Like I said, Tyler Manninga, he's going to win. Second, I have Camden Murphy. I don't know what he's going to drive, but I'm going to get to see it, whatever it is, so I hope it's a good truck, like Maxi or Pirate's Curse. But yeah, I'm going to get to see it at Louisville, Kentucky. I'm going to get to see, I'll tell you the Louisville lineup after this, and I'll also post, post some, like, shorts from Louisville. So yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, that's what Ivan second. Great driver. He could. If he won this, I wouldn't be insanely shocked. I mean, I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be like if you told me Kevin Crocker's winning this. I'm like, I'd bet $1,000 he's not. No offense to Kevin Crocker. Again, he's just Tyler Manga's on a whole another level than literally any other driver. And Camden Murphy, I just don't think he's gonna. I just think he can win. I just don't think he will. I think he'll win a world championship, though. I'm not sure what because I haven't seen the track, but I do think he'll win a world championship as opposed to a world, as opposed to a series championship. And then winning the victorious Tyler Menninga. He's just really just good at everything. It's like I'm not really sure what else to say. He's gonna win the tour, and I'd bet money on that. I'd bet a lot of money on that. So yeah, next up, we get to the top two of my rankings of these tours. And in second place, I have Arena Championship Series Central, and this tour, I feel like it's very unpredictable. Like this is gonna be one of the most difficult tours to predict. I do know who I think will win it, which I think some of you will agree with. But yeah, I also do like Matt Cody. He's here. He's amazing at Gravedigger. Like driving Gravedigger, but he has a different driving style from every other driver of Gravedigger. Also he's not as dominant, which I really like because he will win, but he usually gets like sixth or seventh. So he usually gets like second or third because yeah. So it's really nice to see like a Gravedigger driver who is fully deserving of it, but also doesn't make it completely annoying and like actually surrounds it. Like same with Christian Anderson, great driver. Either of them like arguably could win their tours. Um, it's just they don't always win as much as like Weston or Tyler. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into this. In eighth place, this tour, the bottom three drivers I feel like could swap at any moment, and same with the top five. I feel like the top five could swap. So yeah. In eighth place, I have Angelina Knock, Megalodon. She's won actually a lot. She's won Skywheelies and Donuts this year. She's just not too good at really any other competition other than Skywheelies or Donuts. So that's why I think she's gonna place in eighth. she's not bad. She's just this tour, like I said, it could swap between literally anyone. Um, so yeah. Next up in seventh, I have John Zimmer in Zombie. Um, the reason I said is because I actually watched the podcast. He said that he really basically said that the reason he wants to do this, he's doing this tour for his son. His son wants him to do this tour. It's not like he is insanely inclined. But yeah, so he's still doing the tour nonetheless, and I'm just like, but I feel like he doesn't have as much motivation as any of the other drivers, really. So yeah, I feel like he's gonna place seventh because he doesn't have as much motivation. But he has had great racing, especially racing. He's won a racing competition. He's done fairly well in two wheel skills. Skywheelies and donuts, he's been meh. Like he's not been amazing in. And freestyle, he's had occasional like one off really good ones. So yeah. Um, Next up in sixth place, I have Montana Robbins in Plain Crazy. Mainly because I follow the independent circuit a lot. So, and Montana racing, he's amazing at racing. Freestyle, amazing at freestyle. Two wheel skills, he is going to dominate. And also donuts. He is fairly good at donuts and even wheelies. So he's gonna be good at really every competition. The only pick I really feel confident about on this tour even is Angelina Knock being an eighth. But even that could swap. But yeah, playing Crazy Montana Robbins, I followed the Independence, so I know he could win the entire tour, and I wouldn't be insanely shocked. I mean, I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. So yeah, I think he's gonna place sixth. Next up, we get into our top five, and controversial pick in fifth place. I have Fernando Martinez and El Toro Loco. Fernando, amazing driver. He can win any night. It's just the other drivers are going to be so good, and I just not sure if he can measure up to beating any of the other drivers. He's great at literally every competition. Like that's really like these top five could, like I said, they could swap at any moment. But yeah, I'll probably actually hi future me because I'm gonna watch this probably after the tours just to see what I thought. So yeah, future me, if you're watching this, I don't know. So yeah. Next up, we get into. Oh wait, is this my longest stream yet? I think so. And anyways, so yeah, Fernando, he's a great driver. It's just all the other ones, I feel like they're gonna be a lot more competitive, especially like I feel like he's in the sport for fun, but all the other ones I think are in it to win it. Like, yeah, I mean, I think every driver's in it for fun at the bare minimum because it doesn't pay an insane amount. I don't think, but I mean, so you're gonna at least like the job, but it's I feel like he's mainly in it because it's fun and he enjoys doing it, which no hate for him for. It's just I feel like all the other drivers are like, we are gonna win this or else I will. I don't know. So yeah, let's get into our top four. In fourth place, I have Triton Robbins and Crazy Train. If 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 either of the Aftershock Racing teammates, if neither of them make it to the LCQ, I will riot. I want to see one of them in the World Finals. So yeah, Triton Robbins though, at Newark he won racing and skills, and he can be good at freestyle. I was thinking about this actually the other day. He can win donuts, sky wheelies, and two wheel skills. Those are things that his brother and him are both amazing at. Triton is more of a racer than his brother, and his brother is more of a freestyler than him. So I feel like Montana's gonna place higher in freestyle, but I feel like Triton is gonna place higher in racing, and then two wheel skills, Skyboos, donuts. Those are all gonna be, they're all gonna be different each show. So yeah, Triton though he's amazing. I feel like he'd win anything. I just feel like he won't do donuts, but I mean not donuts. He will do donuts definitely. I just don't feel like he'll do backflips, but he does have good momentum. I mean, all the drivers on the tour have actually pretty good momentum, I would say myself. So yeah, let's get into our podium positions. In third place, I have Matt Cody Gravedigger. Like I said, he's amazing, great driver. But it's just the other two drivers. I feel like they have they've placed insanely high before, and well, one of them could have placed higher last year. Anyway, different. That's a story for another day. She could have placed second. Jamie Sullivan, she could have placed second. Actually, she would have placed second if she didn't have to take a break because she was injured. But yeah. Um, Next up though, I mean not next up, Matt Cody. The reason I have him in third is because he's gonna win an overall event championships and multiple things. It's just like I said, the other two drivers they're very competitive, and I don't think he can really beat them. I think he's. I feel fairly confident about him being in third. So yeah, next up, our top two. Controversial pick in second. I have John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He's a great driver. I met him. He was fairly nice. It's just I don't. I feel like he didn't spend last year in Monster Day. I'm sure he won the All Star Monster Tour, which congratulations for him. It's just he did win the tour, but like it's not Monster Jam. All Star Monster Tour is completely different because outside especially. So yeah, um, I feel like he's gonna play second. I feel like it's gonna be close. I feel like he will definitely have the tour. He will definitely like be in the lead for the tour at some point. During the year. I can't tell you when, but I do feel like he will. But I just feel like he's gonna play second. I feel like it's gonna come down to the final few events though. So yeah, he could win though. And then winning, I have Sparkle Smash driven by Jamie Sullivan. Sparkle Smash, I love the truck personally. Kayla Blood, I met her. She's really nice. Um, but Jamie Sullivan, I also met her, and I actually saw her get an overall event championship. And yeah, so I mean, she great driver. She can win any competition any day. She's great at freestyle, great at donuts, great at sky wheelies. Sky wheelies, I feel like she could improve on sky wheelies, but that's probably the only competition I could say that she could improve on. So yeah, she's amazing. She would have gotten second place this year, if she didn't have to step away from New York, and probably also if Joe Dennis had just filled in because Chelsea Van Cleve, she just had to be thrust into the truck. She had no idea what was going on. She didn't have any time to prep. Joe Dennis, he knew what was going on. Chelsea Van Cleve, she didn't have any time to prepare, so it's not her fault. But yeah, Jamie Sullivan, I feel like she will definitely win this tour. I feel fairly confident about that, but not positive. And yeah, I hope she can win the tour and maybe I don't care about Dell. Anyways, we're done with that tour. So yeah, can we not do Dell? I don't care about Dell. Anyways, side sorry. Um, I have the best tour I think is gonna be Stadium Championship Series West. Wait, how much? All right, I have 14 minutes to talk about this. All right, Stadium Championship Series West though it's gonna be a great tour. I'm not sure who I think is gonna win. Um, it's gonna be a great tour nonetheless though. So yeah, let's just get straight into it though. 12th place, I have Matt Pagliarulo, Jester. This is really difficult. It's just Matt, he really is a freestyler, and like they just really have not gotten lucky. Um, like their trucks constantly break over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I feel like he's gonna place. I feel like he's gonna place 12th, sadly, but I mean, someone's got to place 12th, and yeah, he's yeah. So Matt's a great driver. I just don't feel like he's gonna get the win this year. So yeah. Um, in 11th place, I have Michael Pagliarulo, Excalibur. Mike, I saw him actually make his stadium debut, and he actually did fairly decent for making his stadium debut. Actually, not his. He debuted Excalibur, the re-debut in stadiums. But yeah, either way, it was his first time driving in stadium since the start of this year. So yeah, it was also in his own identity. Like Excalibur is Mike's. It's his truck. It's also Chucky Pocket's truck, but it's Mike's truck. And like Jester is his dad's truck. And Kraken is his brother's truck. But Excalibur it's his. So yeah. If they put him like a recreation or Michigan Ice Monster, that might make, or even Freedom Flyer, that might make a bit of sense, because Chucky Plotkin, that he was originally supposed to be the main driver of this, but I think he's only driven it a handful of times, so yeah. Yeah, so my great driver, but it's Stadium Tour debut, so I don't feel like he's gonna get the win. I feel like next year in 2026, he will do fairly good though. I think he'll do better. So yeah. Next up in 10th place, let's wrap up Team Tomfoolery. Um, we have Nick Pagliarulo Kraken. He is great at skills and freestyle. I feel like if he could improve a little bit on racing though. But yeah, he's really good at just about every competition, and I feel like he can get the win if he wants to. So yeah. I'm not sure like who's gonna get the win on, like, especially like this tour could really go anyway. Like any driver could place anywhere. All these drivers are amazing. So I genuinely have no clue who's gonna win. But yeah. Um so yeah, I have um Nick Pagliarulo in 10th place. So yeah, we're getting into ninth. In ninth place, I have Cole Vinard, Black Pearl. Cole, he had a great season going. He just got injured, and I feel like that's gonna take away from him next year, sadly. But yeah, great driver. Yeah, he's like, actually in the event that we're watching right now. He arguably should have won freestyle, but it's just not. It just didn't win. So yeah, but Cole just hasn't had an insane year. I wish he could have done better, but I mean, we all have our ups and downs. So yeah. Um, Next up in eighth place, controversial, I think. I'm not positive. Sparkle Smash, Kayla Blood. Great driver. She's amazing, especially in freestyle. Two wheel skills, she's also improved a lot on. Racing, like I've said a lot. Like, I think I've said it too many times now. But racing, she needs to improve on, definitely. And if she can improve on racing, then she will definitely surpass to like third place. But yeah, I personally just think she's gonna get eighth place. Not positive, but yeah. Now we get up into our top seven. Um, In seventh place, I have Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco. He's a great driver. He's been my favorite. He's actually been my favorite driver, or one of my favorite drivers for a while. He used to be my favorite driver, but I decided, since like I started, my favorite driver is just like a list of Chris Kohler, like Jamie Garner, Zach Garner, like, it's so many people. Like, that's not even like, there's way too many people. Brianna Mahan, even. So yeah, there's like, I think there's more people probably even. But yeah. Um so yeah, let's get yeah, seventh place though. I think he's gonna finish there. He can win any competition any day. Freestyle, I don't think I've said this before, but freestyle I feel like he could improve a little bit on. If he improves on freestyle, he could very well win the tour. But yeah, I just feel like he needs to improve on freestyle, and then he'll definitely get into the world finals. I do hope he gets into the world finals though, because he definitely deserves it. Especially in 2023, he placed higher than Cole Vinard. Cole Vinard gets in the world finals, but Jamie Garner doesn't, which is very stupid, and I genuinely found that insulting. It's because he's independent. Feld needs to stop looking at a driver from if they're independent or not. They need to look at them from an objective standpoint. So yeah. Um, Next up in our top for fifth place. Wait, is it no sixth? No, yes. Wait, yeah, sixth place. I have probably controversial. Not sure. Bryce Kenny, and we don't know. I hope he's in a good truck. I think he's gonna be a maxi. I probably, I might talk about that later. Actually, I'm just gonna talk about it now. Basically, Bryce Kenny has toured with Tom Mentz more than Camden Murphy has, so I feel like Camden Murphy would fit the truck more, but I feel like Tom Mentz personally would pick Bryce Kenny over Camden Murphy. So yeah, I think Camden Murphy. I think he's probably gonna get a truck like probably Pirate's Curse. I don't know, but yeah. Um, so yeah, I think that's why I think Bryce is gonna get in Max D. But yeah, so yeah, Bryce Kenny, sixth place. He can win any competition, especially with what he did in Houston. I believe he had like a cork flip. Also, Atlanta Motor Speedway, he had pretty good air. It wasn't as good as everyone's acting like it was, but it was still very good air. So yeah, Bryce Kenny, great driver. I just don't feel like I feel like the other drivers are just gonna win more because they're very competitive. So yeah, another controversial pick. I feel like in fifth place I have Todd LeDuc and Megalodon. Todd LeDuc, he's a great driver. The reason I have him in fifth though is because simply just the fact that all the other drivers are just insane, and Todd LeDuc, he's great. He has usually at least one show a year where he sweeps the entire show. So yeah, I think he's definitely gonna, at the bare minimum, get a few overalls. But yeah, I just don't think he's gonna place higher than this because all the other drivers, they're absolutely amazing, and he's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but these other drivers, they are like they're insane. Like yeah. So yeah, in fourth place, I have Zach Gardner Wildside, your world racing champion. He is competing in a few stadium events, and whenever he does, he usually makes it to the finals in racing, top five in racing, and top six in freestyle. So yeah, I'm not. So yeah, he just because of how he's done. Sure, I said with other drivers, it's they're like transitioning to stadiums that it might be difficult, but I feel like he's gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna be as difficult for Zach, especially with how his dad can teach him anything. His mom also is driven, but she's mainly driven in Monster Jam arenas. I don't think she's driven in a Monster Jam stadium before, but yeah. So yeah, I have him in fourth place. I think he's gonna do amazing. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins the tour, but yeah. In third place, I have I this pick is, I mean, I don't think it's too surprising, but it's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. He's a great driver, and I think that he could easily win, but it's just the other two drivers, they are like I'm not even sure how to say, like they are insane. So yeah, he's great. It's just these like Tristan and Ryan. Oh my god, those two are who they are absolutely insane. Like they could win anything on any night. So yeah, in second place, a pick that I don't think a lot of people are gonna have. In second place, I have Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. I think he's gonna get second. Um, it's just Tristan England. He is way too competitive, and he's like I'm not sure how to explain it, but he could win literally anything, any night, any time. You could wake him up in the middle of the night, he would win any competition. So yeah. Ryan Anderson. I think he's gonna. I think Ryan is gonna. I think he's gonna do good. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the tour. I just have Tristan England winning, and yeah, I hope that. I hope that Tristan can win also because Ryan's won a lot, and yeah, it's gonna be a great year though. Those lineups are amazing, and yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say about it. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Please tell me in the comments below. I'm trying to get to 10 subscribers. I will do a 10 subscribers special. If you have any ideas for a 10 subscribers special, just comment them on literally anything. I can make a community post about my mom dying, and if you comment that on that, I would still be okay with that probably. I mean, probably not. I hope my mom doesn't die. Anyways, but yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Do not share this with anyone unless you are confident they would love this. But yeah, trying to get to 10 subscribers would be a dream. So yeah, yeah, goodbye, and please tell me um your thoughts and who you think is gonna place where on